So today I am in town. I've got a few bits that I need to get. I'd really like to make a cake this afternoon. So if I have the energy, we have a massive rhubarb patch in the garden. I used to have an allotment years ago, and when I left, I took the rhubarb with me, so I dug it up and moved it, and it's kind of moved around house to house when I was renting. And then when I finally bought somewhere, I popped it in the garden. And it's massive, it's absolutely huge. And we do things with it. We made like chutney and jam and crumbles and things, but I found a nice recipe for an easy cake, so I'm going to get the ingredients, and then if I have the energy today, do it today, and if not, I can do it over the weekend. And you know, it'd be rude not to have a quick nosy in the charity shops too and see what we can find. So yeah, let's go. So this is the Forget Me Not Children's Hospice. And this is actually the one that my mum volunteers in. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. Some kind of Egyptian hieroglyphics. Oh, I can't say that word. Too early in the morning. I start getting bits of furniture in here as well. So yeah, let's go have a nosy. So we didn't find anything in that one, but never mind. I'm gonna have a walk to get Dave some tea, and then I might have a look in TK Maxx sale as well. Managed to get a few nice bits in scope. I got everything with £1, because if it doesn't have a tag on it in the jewellery section, they usually put it through for £1. So I managed to get a couple of enamel bangles, which are really pretty, nice and vintage. A couple of like studded ones, big chunky ones, and a necklace, and the sweetest little chicken that you've ever seen. I can't wait to show you that, just in time for Easter. And now I'm going to head down to Sainsbury's and get the ingredients for the cake. Hello and welcome back. So my name is Emma and I buy and sell vintage jewellery. I upcycle broken jewellery into new jewellery, and then I make my own designs as well. So today I'm going to go through some bits and pieces that I got in Wakefield. You'll have seen a little bit of footage of me pottering around and doing a little bit of shopping, and I've also got a bead haul to show you as well. So for when I'm doing my upcycling, so for example these earrings and these kinds of bracelets, I like to keep my eye out for broken necklaces and broken bracelets, because I can reuse the beads in new designs. And usually there are lots of vintage jewellery sellers on eBay that will put all their broken pieces together and then they'll sell them as a lot. So I managed to find a lady who had gathered all of her glass beaded necklaces that are broken, put them all together and sold them as a lot. So I was lucky enough to win that lot for a reasonable price. So I shall show you what we've got in there. And I love doing that because, first of all, vintage beads are so much better quality than beads nowadays. You're likely to get more unusual designs and colours and textures and materials, that kind of thing. And yeah, it adds variety to my bead stash. So yeah, we'll have a nosy at those. But first I'll show you what I found in Wakefield. So I did find a little bit of jewellery, not tons and tons, but some decent pieces. So the first bit of footage that you will have seen was I went out to my cousin's who, his wife had some jewellery that was her mum's and then some that was hers that she'd inherited, and she wanted me to kind of have a little nosy and do a bit of an appraisal, see if there was anything in there of any particular value. So on my way there I stopped off at the Salvation Army, which is like an old church building that's been converted, and they used to have loads of jewellery in there. However, this time very, very little. They had a little tiny box with some brooches in, and then they had a specials cabinet, but it had more kind of like pottery items and porcelain and things, and there were some knives in there, some vintage spoons, but nothing jewellery wise, unfortunately. So the only bits that I got in there were this sweet little brooch, so kind of Damascene Toledo style, and you can see it's got a bull's head on there. So that would be an ideal gift for a Taurus. So if someone is the horoscope Taurus, that might make a nice gift. So yeah, it's got a lovely kind of etched textured surface to it. There we go. That was only £1, so that was a bargain. And what else did I get in there? I got one other thing in there. Oh, that's it. I got this stretch bracelet that is falling to pieces. So you can see, if I hold that up, you can see all that stringy elastic there is just, oh, literally disintegrating in my fingers. However, I really like these panels. They've got little chips of abalone shell in them, and then they've got like a resin finish. So I'm gonna take them off the old elastic and then just restring them so that I can, you know, turn that back into a usable bracelet. And that was only £1 as well. So they were from the Salvation Army, and then everything else that I got was from Wakefield. Most of it was from, I got a couple of bits from St Vincent's, and I had a walk up to the Scope and had a nosy in there because they usually have a really good variety. So in the Scope, I got these chunky bangles, and I've sold these before. I come across them quite often. I've definitely sold that one before. So it's just a nice kind of chunky brass, black and silver bangle, and these are really good for stacking with other bangles as well. And then this one I really liked, it's studded. Look at that. So similar colours, they look quite nice together actually. And it's, yeah, it's studded and it's made of wood, so it's like the studs have been hammered in, creating a really nice textured surface. And they were £1 each, so that's another bargain. The other two bangles that I got in there, I think these are beautiful. They don't have any signatures on them. At first I thought they might have been Michaela Frey, and they could be, but they're not signed. But they are enamel bangles, and they've got the most stunning kind of like 1970s pattern on them. There we go. So there's a blue one and a red one. The red is slightly slimmer than the blue one. But they're gorgeous. I love the design on them. Nice floral design. What I'll do is, I'll do my usual. I'll put all of this out and I'll do a pan round so that you can see everything close up. And again, because these didn't have any labels on, these were £1 each. So that was a pretty good find. I was really chuffed with those. And then I picked these up in St Vincent's, and their bracelets are 50p and their necklaces are £1, which is super cheap. So you'll notice I always pick these up. So this is another brass stacking bangle with mother of pearl inlay. Really simple but nice and effective. These are nice for festivals, for stacking up with other bangles. So I got that one, and I got this one which was a little bit different. So it's made from wire that's kind of threaded onto a bar at each end, and then the wires cross over, and then they've got these lovely glass beads, which have got that moon glow effect to them. There you go, you could probably just see that in the light. So yeah, 50p, not bad. It's my favourite price. And then this was £1. This was from the Scope also, and it's just on a leather piece of cord, and it's a nice brass pendant, and it almost looks like, I want to say it looks like a bird in a way, as if maybe that was the bird's head and then the feathers, the wings. Not sure, but for £1 I thought that was really nice. And then that was everything jewellery wise from the charity shop. And then I picked this up just because I couldn't leave it behind, and I wanted to know a little bit more about it. I have tried to do a little bit of research, but I couldn't find anything. However, it is a mustard pot, and it's made from ceramic. It is very kind of light porcelain, but it's a little chicken. So how sweet is that? So the chicken's head comes off, and then you would put mustard inside. So it's a little mustard pot. And then there's a little section there where you would have your mustard spoon poking through. And then on the front, it's got this kind of emblem. It says Normington 1895, which when I did a Google search, I couldn't find anything about that. And then on the bottom, it says Stoke-on-Trent, Carlton, China. There we go, it's got that stamp on the bottom. So I might be able to date it from the stamp on the bottom. That might be something that I can look up. But he's got like a really nice luster glaze on him. But I just thought, how sweet is that? And just in time for Easter as well. So there we go. And he was £2. So yeah, I couldn't resist. He had to come home with me. Now, these other pieces I got from Vintage. So what I do sometimes is I have a nosy on there, and if someone's got quite a few bits that I like, I bundle them together and then I make an offer. And usually most sellers are quite happy to knock a couple of quid off and give you a good deal. So I wanted the beads from this one, so I really liked the colour of the beads, and the necklace was kind of, it's all gone loose, so the cord that it's on is kind of falling apart. Quite like the little brass square fastening on there, but the beads themselves are quite unusual. They're like different shades of orange, and they are some kind of plastic. They've kind of got a bit of a crazed effect to them. They're definitely moulded, so they're not Bakelite, because you can see the little mould press around them. But yeah, I wanted to be able to use those in some jewellery designs. These are nice and lightweight as well. So I got that, and I got this pair of earrings, a bit more modern, but vintage style. There we go. So these are like nice chandelier rhinestone earrings. They'd be nice for a prom or an evening, fancy evening do maybe. So yeah, they came in a little lot. One of them's got a stone there that's gone dead, so that means it's just gone black. So I shall pop that one out and pop a new one in. These are all claw sets, so I'll be able to just turn the little claws back and pop the old stone out and then pop a new one in. I sold a rhinestone necklace today, actually. I've had quite a few sales this weekend. So some rhinestone earrings, some 1950s ones, a beautiful clear rhinestone choker. And what else did we sell this weekend? Something else popped up this morning. Oh, I think I showed it in one of my videos. It was like a porcelain love heart with a rose transfer on. And then in the back it had a hole. And what you would do is you put some perfume on a bit of cotton wool and pop it in there, so it kind of sits on your chest, and then the heat probably would let the perfume. So yeah, it's been quite a good weekend for sales. Now this one I picked up in Age UK, and it was under their counter section, and it looked like something special, at least good quality if nothing else, and it was only £1.50. So I asked to have a look at it, and it was on the card, so I couldn't see the back. I couldn't see if it had any signatures or anything, but I could tell it was really good quality and very pretty and unusual. So I thought, right, I'm having that. So if I hold this up, there we go. So we've got a lovely little fairy there who's got some rhinestones in her wings. We've got a little butterfly, a faux pearl in the centre, and then this beautiful drop that's got like grapes. There's like a little grapevine on the top. And when I got it home and took it off the card, it has got the little Kirk's Folly signature in there, just in that oval. And I did a Google Lens, and these sell for around kind of £35–40. So not bad for £1.50. That was the only piece of jewellery that I got in there. They don't have, sometimes they seem to have loads of jewellery and then they don't seem to have any. But yeah, I was quite chuffed with that find. So that's all my jewellery bits. And then I picked these up in Scope just because I thought they were interesting. And these are places that I like to visit as well. So in my next video that will come out next week, I had a trip to Pickering and Whitby. And there we go, so that's Pickering. So these little books would have been like little guides that you would have picked up. So they've got all kind of local knowledge in them. They've got a little map of the town inside. And I just thought these were really, really fun little bits of history. So I managed to get 3 of those, and they were £1 each from the Scope. So we've got Pickering, we've got Scarborough, and then also Richmond, which I think I've only been to Richmond once, but that's another place that I wouldn't mind going back to. So yeah, I took the Pickering one with me so that I could learn a little bit, and I learned a bit about the church. I did actually go around the churchyard and have a nosy. So yeah, thought they were nice and helpful. Right, so onto the bead stash. So this came all nicely packaged in here, and she wrapped it really well, which is good because they are glass. So there is obviously a chance that they could chip and whatnot. So it's a nice hefty bag full. I want to say there's a couple of kilograms in here, maybe just less, I think is what it said on the listing. So I managed to win this for £17 and then postage on top, which I didn't think was bad. And there we go. So it's just a nice bag of all different beads, and they're all glass, which is fantastic. I don't mind plastic, plastic's fine, but glass is just so much better. It's going to last longer, and you get kind of really intricate glass beads and lovely colours and different finishes and textures, and yeah, love them. So they do smell a little bit musty, so I think they've probably been in somebody's old jewellery box and kind of stuffed away somewhere. So when I looked at the listing, this is one of the first ones that I spotted. So these are all broken, so it looks like most of them were necklaces. And as you can see, that one there has just popped off, the string is broken. So someone's used cotton to thread those, and then it's just worn away over time. But these are beautiful. Look at those shapes. Lovely pale blue. And they've kind of got like a nice satin finish. These are moulded glass. You can see the little pressed lines on the outside. There's a little knot in between each one, and that's to stop them from touching each other and chipping and clinking together. I thought they were gorgeous. So a nice kind of blue and white pattern on that one. So a lot of these will be Czech glass. There's probably some French glass in here. Yeah, really nice mixture. So this one isn't broken. Oh no, actually it's missing a bead. That's why it's in the thing. Look at that clasp. That's quite nice, isn't it? Nice kind of lattice design. So all of these clasps I'll remove, and then I'll just reuse them in my own jewellery designs. So these are like little coins almost, or little spaceships. And they're gorgeous. Look at that pink. Really pretty. And again, they've got a nice kind of satin finish to them. But such an unusual shape. So I love those. I love that sound as well. So yeah, so that just had one. If I hold it up, you can see it's just got a bead missing there that's probably broken and come off. So I'll be able to use those. These I thought were beautiful, and they make me think of citrine, the gemstone, but they're not. They are glass, and this is a beautiful multi-stranded necklace. So if I hold that up there, it actually matches my colour code today. So there we go. So this is, it looks like some of the strands are missing. So there are 3 graduated strands, and they're all faceted glass, and you can see that they've got a deeper shade and a lighter shade of yellow running through them. So a 2-tone glass, absolutely beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to reusing those. These are beautiful, and they've just been strung on the wrong cord, and then someone's kind of messed it up and just knotted it all at the top. So you could just restring these and make a choker out of them. And at first I thought it was lapis lazuli, because they do look, if you look at that colour, they have got the same colour as lapis, and they have a little bit of a flecked sparkle in them as well, which you would get in lapis. You get pyrite in there, which sparkles. However, I think these are glass. Once I get them off of here, I'll probably be able to tell a little bit better. They certainly, each one looks slightly different, and they are very, very heavy. And they're almost like, the effect on them, the speckled effect, is almost like peking glass, the green kind of speckled glass that you get. So I'll be taking those off, and they've got lovely silver tone end cap beads as well. Really, really good quality. Amazing. We've got some lovely kind of standard Aurora Borealis glass crystal beads. You see these quite often. We've got some plain ones there that don't have a finish on them, but they're really nice shape. I love how they catch the sun. Beautiful. And that's got a nice little clasp on it as well, a brass clasp. What else did we get in there? Oh yeah, we got this nice mixture. I think this is probably someone has handmade this. That's quite nice, the little tassel bit at the bottom, red and clear. We got some, not quite sure how this would have worked, but there's some kind of frosted white ones, and then these are almost like kidney beans. Kidney bean beads. Say that when you've had a few. In a nice pink, and then some of them have got like a swirly pink design on them. They're gorgeous. Really unusual. Like I say, vintage beads are so much more interesting than modern day beads. These ones are those Austrian ones. I've actually listed a necklace recently with these on. They've got kind of almost like a washed effect on them, like a watercolour wash, and then a luster finish over the top, a luster glaze. So I'll be able to pop those off and use those. What else did we get? Oh yeah, we got these ones. So I think somebody's tried to restring this, and you can see that they've got some yellow ones on this side, and it's all just gone a little bit wrong. So I'll be able to reuse those. They're gorgeous. They're like a really nice deep amber colour. And then just some black ones and some blue ones. So I don't think that was bad, that whole bag for £17. When you think when like a vintage, glass beaded vintage necklace would sell for more than £17. So yeah, and I've got at least 20 or more in there, which is awesome. So I've been doing a little bit of making this week. My hands have been really sore. I'm not quite sure what it is that's causing it. They seem to, what's the word, strain really easily. So my fingers and my wrist joints have been really sore. So I've been trying to rest them. So I couldn't do anything intricate. I couldn't get my jewellery wire out and do any kind of wire wrapping or anything like that. But I did some simple threading onto some elastic wire, and I made these lovely beaded bracelets. So I've got one on today that goes with my outfit, and then these ones, each one of these is a mixture of vintage, gemstone and modern beads that have all been upcycled and rescued. So there's some Venetian beads in here. These ones are carnelian, and then we've got some kind of faux amber ones as well. That's the peking glass that I was talking about earlier, the green speckled glass. Love that one with the different blues, got some fluorite in there. So yeah, I had fun doing those, and it was nice and simple and easy to do. I've got You can buy beading needles that are really, really slim and thin that kind of slide through your beads easy, and you can put your elastic through. So yeah, I had fun making those. And somebody asked to see my waistcoats that I've been making. So this is one of the ones that I've got on today. I'll try and show you the rest of it. So you can see at the top there, it's got a different coloured back. That's the front panels, and then these come down into a little point at the bottom, and then the back has got this brown fabric, and then I lined it with the same brown fabric as well. So this is actually reversible, so you could wear it inside out as well, and I quite like it this way. I like the yellow. It's nice and bright for springtime. I've done a blue one that's got little white stars all over it. I've got a pink one as well. And then I'm going to use that mustard fabric that I bought recently for £2. When I opened it up, I gave it a wash, popped it on the washing line, got it dry in the sun. And when I measured it, it was 3 metres. So 3 metres of denim fabric for £2 from the charity shop. Amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I've made my own pattern for these. So I did it on, I had an old waistcoat that I used to love that was falling to bits. So I laid that out on some old wallpaper. I like to use that for pattern making. But yeah, really super easy to make. Just like I say, the back panel, 2 front panels, and you just attach your lining, sew them inside out, then turn them the right way, and then stitch them all together. Some people like to kind of have a button that fastens them, but I quite like mine open. And I've got this one with the pointy bottoms, and I've got some with a round edge as well. So yeah, when my hands are feeling a bit better, then I'll get the sewing machine out and have an attempt at making another one. At the minute, I just need to kind of give these a bit of a rest. It's my knuckles and things. They seem to, I wake up and they're really, really stiff and sore. And then just throughout the day, they get a little bit better. My right hand's worse than my left hand. But yeah, I'm sure it'll pass. So the next video you'll see will be the Whitby and Pickering trip. That'll be coming out next week, and I'll probably also do a vlog as well. So as usual, I shall catch you on the next one.